This is Professor Homa, and this is Anchor Points Part 4, and today we're going to look at these tools, the Add Anchor Point tool and the Delete Anchor Point tool, as well as the Convert tool. We worked with a circle last time and converted it to a heart. This time we're going to work with a square and make some different shapes out of it. So what I'm going to do initially, notice I have my tear-off palettes up here for both my pen or Bezier tools, also for my polygon tools, so I have access to all of them at once instead of having to go down through these tools to dig to find other tools. So I'm going to start with a rectangle tool, and I'm going to make a square. To do that, I'm actually just going to click on my page, and I'm going to click right here, and it's coming up with 6 by 6, and that's what I'm going to make, a 6 by 6 rectangle, and where I clicked is where the upper left of that should be. So when I hit OK, there's my rectangle or my square. Now when I select with my regular selection tool, which would what we usually do, you can see there's the transform handles. There's 8 of them going all around, and then when you put your mouse over them, you'll see the stretch handles to scale it on the side, squash it in the middle, rotate around the edge. Now when I use my direct selection tool, like we did with the circle, it's a little hard to tell, but now we have 4 anchor points, 2, 3, 4, and as we mentioned before, they're all selected right now. When they're solid, no matter what color they are, they're blue right now, but if the layer color, here's the layer color is blue, if this layer color happened to be, matter of fact, I'll change the layer color. I'll go over to layer and just change the layer color to red, just so you know they don't have to be blue. Now they're red because the layer color is red, but they are solid as opposed to when I click off and click on, now they're hollow. And they're very hard to see, but you can see they're white right now, and that means they're unselected. So I could grab one and move it around, or I can grab multiple. I could grab these bottom 2 and stretch them down and bring them back up. So we already know how to select anchor points. But what we're going to do is we're going to add some more anchor points. We only have 4 of them, and we're going to turn this rectangle or this square into a star. So I'm going to use the Add Anchor Point tool. And to do this, you can see my cursor turns into like a pen, an ink pen, and I have to put the tip right on the path if I want to add an anchor point. And I'm going to add 4 new anchor points. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to add them in between the other 4 anchor points. So I'm going to click to add it, and if you don't click right on the line, you'll get this message. Please use the Add Anchor Point tool on a segment of path. Sometimes it's difficult to do it, no matter how accurate you are. So sometimes you have to do it more than once. But I'm going to click there. There's my anchor point. There's an anchor point. And there's my 4th anchor point. 8 altogether. And it wasn't completely accurate. I just kind of did it by eye. Now what I'm going to do is use my direct selection tool, the one that moves anchor points, and I'm going to select the top one. And kind of like what I did with the heart, I'm going to move this down about halfway towards the center. About halfway from where it was to the center. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to do that with all my new anchor points until I create a star shape, or almost like an Xbox logo shape. So there's my Xbox logo shape, now created out of 8 anchor points. And these are all corner points. Remember when we talked about corner points and curve points? These don't have handles, so they're all corner points. At each connector between a line segment, there's a sharp change of direction. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my Convert tool, which we used before. Now if these are corner points, we'll have to convert them to curve points. That means we'll pull handles out from them, and they'll then have a smooth transition. Instead of a sharp point, they'll have a smoother point. So the way I'm going to use my Convert tool is to drag, and I'm just dragging in a 45-degree angle, and I'm going around clockwise, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm just dragging and almost making clover leaf shapes, and I'll go up here and do the same thing. And if you would happen to drag in the wrong direction, if I drag this way and it starts twisting around, just go around the other way. Nothing wrong with doing that. And you can see the screen will scroll a little bit if you drag the handles too far. So there I made a little clover leaf shape. What I have now are 4 curve points. Remember, these things work like seesaws, so these are actually curve points. Seesaw handles, curve points. No handles, corner points. Or handles that work independently, which we're going to do, those would be curve point, those would be corner points as well. And I'm also going to make these inner points curves. I'm going to take my Convert tool and I'm going to drag And now the shape is going to be almost less like a clover, more flower-like, almost like those flowers on SpongeBob SquarePants at the bottom of the ocean that you'll see sometimes decorating the bottom of Bikini Bottom. Alright, so here's my little flower type shape that I made out of a clover. Now what I have is all curve points. So I took all my corner points and converted them to curve points. And if I needed to edit any of these shapes or any of the curves or any of that, I would be using my direct selection tool. I would not use my convert tool. The only thing my convert tool does is convert. So if I want to convert it back to being corner points, I could use the easiest method to do that, which just sucks in the handles by going click, click, click. You like those sound effects? Click. That sucks in the handles and makes these corner points without handles. And same thing up here. If I did the same thing up here, if I would click, 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 that removes the handles and makes them, turns them back into corner points again without handles. And if I wanted to remove those anchor points that I made, I would use the delete anchor point tool. I can't just hit delete. If I hit delete, I'll do that right now, it'll actually delete line segments. So I don't want to do that, and it would open up my path. So I don't want to do that. I actually want to just click on an anchor point that I want to remove. So I'll click on all 4 of these and get rid of them. Oh, and I missed that one. I didn't get right on it. So I'll do that again. And now I'm back where I started. So just to repeat that process, I'm going to add anchor point with my add anchor point tool, clicking right on the line. And there's 4 that I've just added. And then I'm going to use my direct selection tool to drag them in and make that Xbox shape, or that star shape. Dragging them into the center. Still all corner points. If I wanted to make some of these curve points, last time I did it to the tip. Now if I do it to the inside first, it actually makes, I don't know how you describe it. I guess we'll see when we're done. It'll almost make like those those things on the Steelers helmets, those little star-shaped things, the red and blue little stars that are on the side of the Steelers logo. Oh, and if you go in the wrong direction, just twist around and go back the other way. So now what I did was create this kind of star shape that has curve points. And to know that they're curve points, you could just click on them, and if the handles move like a seesaw, that's a curve point. These have no handles, so they're corner points. And if I wanted to convert them as well, I could just drag on them, and I'll just pull them out a little bit. So it'll be a little different shape than we did last time. Now it's going to be more like a propeller, and I went the wrong way. So you should keep going in the same direction. I'm going to keep going clockwise. So there's my kind of blobby kind of X shape that I have here, and it's all made of curve points. And again, when the handles work like a seesaw, it makes a smooth transition. So if you look down on this and you picture this like being a railroad track, if you go around on here, there's no sharp change of direction. But if I took one of these handles and I used the convert tool and I did this, I now made this a corner point. Now if this was a train coming around here and it hit here, there's a sharp change of direction, it would probably crash. And I can't fix it. I can't just drag this back and fix it and say, okay, it's a curve again, because it's not. Once you disengage it with the convert tool, it's now a corner point. So the only way to get it back again would be you could click and suck in the handles, or you could just drag over it again. You could just re-drag and pull the handles out. So if you move one of them, it disengages it, makes it a corner. And the only way to get them to work together again is just to re-drag. And that's also the way we make corner points with handles. We have to kind of re-drag, pull out handles, and then move them independently. So I'm going to delete all these points again, and make sure to get right on the point, or you'll get that nasty message. And I deleted that one. Actually, I didn't want to delete that one. I just want to delete the middle ones. So I'll delete the middle ones, and you'll notice the shape isn't going back to a square because I have all curves here. So now I have kind of this oblong kind of shape because there's curve points all around, which are kind of creating arcs at all 4 sides of these line segments. Now to delete these points, or even before I delete them, I could convert them back. I could click and convert them to a corner point, and I'll do that to all 4 points and make it into a square shape again. And now I'm back to a square. So again, just to review, convert, drag out to create handles that are curve points. Then to convert a handle, and I'll do it just to one corner here. That makes a curve. Drag one handle, that makes a corner with handles that work independently, and click sucks in the handles. Pretty simple to remember that. One more time. Curve. Now it's a corner. Now it's a corner with no handles. End of lesson.